In every town, in every city, in every quiet corner of the world, there are objects that don't belong, objects that hide secrets, objects that feel alive. This is the story of a boy, a watch, and a countdown that didn't lead to the future, but to the past. Rayan was an ordinary 16-year-old student from a small, quiet town. The kind of town where nothing unusual ever happens. No mysteries, no legends, just predictable days and silent nights. But on one cloudy evening, as Rayan walked home from school, the air felt different. Heavy, cold, almost expectant. The sky was painted with deep orange and purple streaks, and a soft fog rolled between the old buildings. Rayan passed by an abandoned bookstore, a place everyone ignored. No one had been inside for nearly 20 years. He heard something metallic drop, a faint clink. He turned. There, lying on the cracked pavement, was an old pocket watch, its golden frame worn, covered in scratches. But what caught his attention was the impossible part. The hands of the watch were ticking backwards. Rayan picked it up. His fingers tingled. The air around him trembled slightly, as if the world itself took a breath. Curious, and a bit frightened, he wound the watch. The streetlights flickered. A cold breeze wrapped around his neck. And then a voice whispered behind him, "Once you start time, you must finish it." But no one was there. Rayan hurried home, clutching the strange watch. Every few steps he looked over his shoulder, expecting someone or something to be there. But the streets were empty. Inside his room, the watch ticked backwards, faster and faster. Rayan tried to close it, but it wouldn't shut. He tried to stop the hands, but they wouldn't stop. Something strange was happening. The room shook gently, his vision blurred, and suddenly he was standing outside again. But everything was different. The cars were older. The street was narrower. The trees were smaller. The buildings looked new, freshly painted. Rayan had traveled 20 years into the past. He panicked. The watch ticked loudly, echoing like a heartbeat in his skull. That's when he saw her, a girl, maybe 14 or 15, standing across the street, staring directly at him, as if she knew exactly who he was. The girl approached slowly. Her footsteps were soft, controlled, deliberate. She didn't look surprised to see him. She looked relieved. "Please," she said softly, "don't try to change anything. The watch doesn't like that." Rayan stammered, trying to form words. "How do you know about the watch?" She simply pointed to the old bookstore, the same one that was abandoned in his time, but now it was open, lights glowing warmly inside. "Follow me," she said, "before the countdown ends." Rayan hesitated, but a strange instinct pulled him forward. He entered the bookstore. The smell of old paper and dust filled the air. Books towered around him like silent guardians, and then he saw it, a wooden shelf in the corner, covered in dozens of pocket watches, all of them ticking backwards. The girl spoke. "These are from others, like you. People chosen by the watch," Rayan whispered. "Chosen for what?" She looked down. "To fix what time cannot, or to be lost in it forever." The girl led him to a table where an ancient book lay open. Symbols, diagrams, and strange sketches filled the pages. "The watch," she said, is older than this town, older than this country, maybe older than time itself. Rayon's heart pounded. What does it want? She explained. The watch chooses only those who are stuck in life, people who need a second chance, even if they don't know it. A watch pulls them into the past, not to change it, but to understand it. Anyone who tries to alter history becomes trapped. Their watch joins the shelf. Their story ends. Rayan swallowed, terrified. I don't want to stay here, I want to go back. She nodded. Then don't interfere with anything. Just follow the countdown. When it hits 0, you'll return. Rayan looked at his watch. The second hand moved backward like a racing heartbeat. Rayan walked through the town from 20 years ago. Everything was familiar, yet different. The roads he knew were smaller, the people younger, the shops brighter. He spotted a familiar face, his father, younger, healthier, smiling. Rayan's throat tightened. He wanted to wave, to talk, to warn him about the future. But the girl's voice echoed in his mind. The watch doesn't like that. He turned away, but destiny had other plans. A young boy ran past him, fell and dropped his bicycle. Rayan instinctively bent down to help him. The moment he touched the boy's arm, the watch burned hot. The world shook violently. A deep, distorted voice whispered, "Do not interfere." Rayan pulled his hand back quickly. The boy stood, confused, and rode away. The watch slowed, calming itself. Rayan realized how dangerous even the smallest act could be. Back inside the bookstore, Rayan confronted the girl. "You warned me not to interfere. Why? What happens?" She hesitated, her eyes filling with sadness. "Because I tried." She lifted her sleeve. A faint scar shaped like a clock hand marked her wrist. "I came here 5 years ago," she said, "to this past. I tried to save someone I loved." Her voice trembled. "The watch punished me. It kept me here. I've been stuck in this past, living the same days over and over." Rayan felt a chill crawl up his spine. "Why help me?" he asked. She smiled weakly. "Because your watch is different. It's not punishing you, it's guiding you." Rayan lowered his eyes. "But guiding me to what?" she whispered. "To see what you ran away from." Rayan walked aimlessly, confused. Every corner of the past held memories, some he recognized, some he didn't. Then he reached a playground. He froze. There, on a bench, was a little boy, crying softly, alone. Rayan's eyes widened. It was him, a younger version of himself. He watched as the boy hugged a worn backpack. Tears streamed down the child's face. Then Rayan remembered. This day, this moment, the day his father promised to show up, but never came. This was the root of his resentment. The moment his fear, distrust, and loneliness began. The watch ticked softly, almost sympathetically. Rayan sat across the road, unable to touch, unable to comfort his younger self. But he understood now. The watch didn't send him to change the past. It sent him to face it. Rayan checked the pocket watch. The hands were slowing. The countdown was reaching its end. The air grew colder. The ground vibrated. The girl appeared beside him one last time. "It's almost over," she whispered. "You'll return soon." Rayan looked at her with genuine sadness. "What will happen to you?" She smiled softly. "I broke the rules. The watch won't let me go." Rayan wanted to help her, but he couldn't. He wasn't allowed. The watch ticked louder, faster. Time folded around him. The light twisted. The world spun, and everything went dark. Rayan opened his eyes. He was back in his town, back in the present, standing outside the same abandoned bookstore. But the watch in his hand was different. It was glowing faintly, and for the first time the hands were ticking forward. A small engraving on the back read, "You didn't change the past, now change your future." Rayan breathed deeply. The resentment he carried for years felt lighter. the anger inside him loosening. He walked home not as the same boy who left, but as someone who finally understood his pain. That night, Rayan dreamed. He stood in a foggy field. The mysterious girl appeared, again calm, peaceful. "Remember," she whispered, "time is watching you." Her figure faded into the mist. When Rayan awoke, his pocket watch lay beside him, still ticking forward. A reminder, a warning, a gift. And somewhere, in a forgotten corner of time, the girl watched over him, smiling softly, hoping he would use his second chance wisely.